Today we are going antiquing in Amish country. We will be in Holmes and Tuscarawas Counties. I am from Akron, Ohio, so we will be heading south on 77 to Route 30, then 62. We will be going through Winesburg, Berlin, Walnut Creek, and Sugarcreek. The countryside is very pretty once you get outside the city. This is Winesburg. It's a cute little village that if you blink an eye you will miss it. There are some cute little shops here, and if you have time you should stop and walk through. Now this is coming into Berlin. This is a quilt square of planted flowers out front of the Farmsted restaurant. The Farmstead serves traditional Amish-style food in a homey atmosphere. The Antique Trading Post is my favorite antique store in Amish country. I think the prices are the most reasonable. They aren't the biggest mall, but I think they have the best selection. I always find something here. Most of the antique stores have items on a front porch, so I will be filming out here today. This little sales corner is set up every time we come by. A little boy is usually tending it. The Amish don't like to have their picture taken, and he is not pictured here because of that reason. He sells aprons, baskets, and rugs. Today he was barefoot with his hat on, sitting on the wall eating an ice cream sandwich. The Berlin Antique Mall is another place we always hit. I don't think the prices are as good as the trading post, but I like to look here. We usually leave this one toward the end, but today we went earlier because of the traffic. They have a pretty large outside area to look at even before you enter the store. This one is not Amish owned, so it will be open on Amish religious holidays. I love this white booth, how they mix the upcycled and vintage together. There are some craft shops in the area. Right in the same parking lot as the Antique Mall are the Plaid Sheep and the Berlin Craft Mall. These shops offer a wide range of crafts and decorating accessories. Right outside the Berlin Craft Mall, they have a nice selection of concrete statuary. I love concrete animals and statues. I have several in my flower beds. The front of the parking lot has a pet store, a leather store, and a western store. There's even a putt-putt golf course and a theater in this area. Pretty much something for everyone. Now we head over to Walnut Creek Antique Mall. This is a smaller antique mall, but still worth a stop. I find stuff in this mall as well, and the prices are comparable to the Trading Post. When you leave here, if you turn right, you can stop for lunch at Der Dutchman. Unfortunately, there is usually a line, which tells you how good the food is. If you go back out to the main road and turn left, you will be on your way to Sugar Creek. Veer right at the V, and you will come into a cute little town that looks like you are in the Swiss Alps. There are all kinds of shops to look through, and they have something for everyone. Even their everyday stores, like insurance agencies, look like Swiss buildings. I was there to visit the world's largest cuckoo clock. The giant cuckoo clock. The Alpine Alpha restaurant in Wilmot, Ohio, commissioned Carl Schluterman to build the world's largest cuckoo clock in 1963. 12 years and $50,000 later, the enormous outdoor clock was finished. It was featured on the cover of the Guinness Book of World Records in 1978. After exposure to Ohio's weather for 30 years, Hampton Hotels Save a Landmark program helped to restore the cuckoo clock to operating condition in 2007. The restaurant closed 2 years later, and the owner of the local store Walnut Creek Cheese purchased the clock and donated it to the village of Sugar Creek. The clock was moved to its new home in May 2012. Village leaders and community members returned the clock to working condition and placed it on display for all to enjoy. There were quite a few people waiting for pictures at the cuckoo clock. We had to stand in line for pictures. It seemed to be a pretty popular sight. Right next to the cuckoo clock is an interesting little store. It's called the Cuckoo's Nest. It has a lot of interesting collectibles. Everything is for sale, but it is more like a museum. Definitely take a few minutes and stop in. On the way back home, we stopped at Berlin Village Antique Mall. This is a very large mall. The prices are higher, but I still have found a few things here. This mall has 2 stories. They also have a little diner attached called Plain and Simple if you decided not to stand in line at one of the other restaurants. Plain and Simple serves burgers, club sandwiches, and chicken fingers types of foods. I do love their cheesecake. Before you head home, don't forget to stop at Heini's Cheese Chalet. They have every kind of cheese you could think of. If you are there early in the morning, you can actually see it being made. Don't forget the Amish have their services on Sunday. so anything Amish owned won't be open on Sunday or religious Amish holidays. I would recommend visiting another day. While not every business is Amish owned, many are. I hope you have as nice a day as I always do when I go to Amish country, and I hope I have given you some ideas of how to plan your visit. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell. Also, comment below if you liked what you saw.